All right, howdy y'all. Welcome. All right, focus is still not off auto, but hey, good morning. Good morning on this Friday morning. So yeah. How's everybody doing? I believe I'm live, and if you're watching and you can see me and hear me, it'd be great if you can let me know. Just let me know in the comments. But other than that, I don't know. It's Friday. I don't know who's watching, who wants to watch. So, but yeah. So I've been trying to come on here live a lot more just because I like doing it, to be honest. It's kind of fun for me and I get to create and it lets y'all see what you know, what creating most every day looks like. So I think that's kind of important to see. Hi, Jackie. Well, thanks for attending. I hope you're doing good. What you up to today? But yeah, so because I get, not necessarily questions. What kind of questions? I get a lot of pushback from other artists when they're like, "Hey, I don't want to create most every day." And I'm like, "Why not? Like, I mean, isn't that the goal? Like, isn't that I mean, that's my goal, certainly, if I'm trying to, make art that sells or anything like that. Like, it's trying to be like, this is my business, but it happens to be fun and something that I'm passionate about. So why not try and create every day? And I'm trying to, you know, get around this notion of, oh, I only create when I'm inspired or in the mood because, man, then I understand, but also like you don't create as much. And part of creating is exploring and making mistakes and showing up even on days where you don't really feel like it. Because honestly, if you show up on days like today, to be honest, I don't really feel like it. But if you show up on days like today, and even try and create, more than likely you're not going to like what you create, if I'm being honest with you, but at least you get it out of the way. At least you're making mistakes and like, okay, I'm not going to make that mistake again, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you're better off for it. Um so yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you're doing good, Jackie. Oh, good. Yeah, I just feel like I'm having allergies or something, so I might be clearing my throat, coughing, sniffling, who knows. Yeah, and it is good to keep up a practice, even if it's a small amount, even if it's just like the act of staring at your easel, you know? Because more than likely, if you put yourself in that environment, you're going to want to create, even if you don't have anything planned. So, yeah. So, that's what I'm going to do today. um, yeah, here, 1 second. I need to get some water. All right. Hopefully we're good. I have to like blow my nose and stuff. All right. Yeah, totally telling you that on my today's life. All right, I'm sure you're like, what is going on here? What kind of setup do you have? We got like spatula and stuff. What is this? So, I've showed this kind of before, but not on Facebook and YouTube. So, if you guys are watching me on there, feel free to say hello in the comments. But, um, yeah, so let's kind of get started. So I'm going to, on days like today where I'm just honestly like our energies kind of ebb and flow, right? Um, and sometimes it's really hard to get and show up to the practice or get to the easel when our energy is low. And today my energy is low. And so when I feel that way, I like to kind of have a day to just explore, not really approach anything with an image in mind or a subject matter in mind, that kind of thing. Well, maybe a subject matter, but I'm not like approaching this piece here being like, I'm going to paint a sunset with flowers and mountains and things like that. Like, no, I don't even want to plan that. I don't even want to, there's zero energy. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to paint and make marks on this piece with a jelly plate and some tools here and see if an image comes out to me. It could be a landscape, it could be flowers, it could be trees, it could be birds. I don't even know. I'm not necessarily a portrait kind of figure person yet. At least I don't like to show that because I'm not very confident in what I do there. But I'm not very confident in exploring that with y'all either. Like, I'm confident of messing up my landscapes, to be honest, but it's a little bit different if I mess up like a portrait or a figure or something. Got wonky eyes, I don't know. But so, anyways, that's how I'm going to approach this painting today, is that I'm going to let the painting speak for itself and create something out of that rather than dictate ahead of time what I'm actually going to be doing, if that makes sense. And I think that is fun and brings people out of their little rut if you're in an artist rut. But I know it can be scary because I think a lot of artists are trained to be like, I need to plan a whole bunch of stuff. Why, yes, I do want some more coffee. That'd be lovely. Hello, Heather. What's up? Are you creating today? What you making? But anyways, I was gonna say I think a lot of artists are trained to really plan out what they're gonna be doing. And I'm all for that, but also I'm all for exploring a lot. And just kind of going with the flow. Okay, so I have a canvas today. This is a canvas board, and I normally like to use a jelly plate with paper, Bristol paper, but I've also been exploring with a canvas board or panel. So, it's just like a pack that I've gotten, and it's already pre-gessoed, okay? And gosh, I don't even know what brand this is. Oh yeah, with your mermaid. Okay, cool. For mermaid. That's pretty neat. Um, but I don't know what brand this is. And to be honest, like I'm sure it's like medium grade, whatever. And I don't mind that. Like I think even when you're exploring or making stuff, like get what's affordable, especially when it comes to canvas. Okay, like I've had some dude who was like, oh, I only buy premium cotton 100% blah 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 linen. And I'm like, yeah, that's good and all, but at the end of the day, like once you gesso it, it goes away. Like it doesn't matter to me. Like once you gesso something, it's going to be sealed and pretty good and groovy. So I don't know. I'm all for like trying some of that expensive stuff too, but also sometimes there's no need. So while I'm talking to you guys about that, I'm opening my jelly plate. Okay, so this is a jelly plate. My mom got me it for Christmas. I was so excited. And this is kind of what it looks like. And it's just fun, okay? This is just fun. If you want some more fun in your art practice, get you a jelly plate. So I'm just pulling the little thingies off of it. Plastic. But it's a jelly block. It's like a gooey little jello block, okay? I like to still keep mine in here because it can get, I don't want it to get ruined. I have a lot of pastel dust in my studio, that kind of thing, fuzz, hair, dog hair, kitty hair, whatever. So it's just easier for me to store it in its original thing, because I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time picking out all that stuff. Okay. Where should I put this? So it's usually translucent. Okay. And so yeah, there's that. Because I haven't used it in a while, I am going to clean it off. And it's just water. I'm just using water. I got a spray little water bottle here. Gonna kind of do that. You guys might be able to see my jammies, okay? It's my day off, right, y'all? So I'm still in my Betty Boop pajamas, okay? But anyways, so I'm just gonna spray it. You can get a cloth or a paper towel or whatever you want, and you just wipe it. And this is wiping off like any of the dust or kind of fibers that may have been there. And there we go. Okay. Now I usually like to, this is a self-healing cutting mat. This thing with the grid. Okay. Yay, pajamas. Yeah, it's like a pajama party, okay? Up in here. So, yeah. No judgments, y'all. So, but I like, okay, so this is a self-healing cutting mat, which is really cool because you can do like your X-Acto knife stuff on here. Now don't use an X-Acto knife on your jelly plate, but I like this mat because this is clear, right? And if I'm doing if I have to measure out my paper and making a print, you're making technically a monotype print with this jelly block, then it's nice to have this grid to line up my paper with the jelly block and line up my jelly block too. But since I'm using a canvas panel, okay, my jelly block is 8x10 and this canvas panel is 8x10. So it's going to be really easy for me to line it up. Okay. On top of that, I got my cool little palette knife. Okay. This is, I don't know, I like this palette knife. I don't really use a bigger, chunkier palette knife. Don't know why. But this is my palette knife, okay. I got a cool oval mop brush, which is fun to play with. It feels really nice. But this is really good for fanning out your open acrylics. I got an old scratchy brush, y'all. Okay, it used to look like something like this one. And let me put this down so you guys can see. But it got old and scratchy, so I cut it in the middle. Now it's very scratchy and cool, and I like that. So yeah, and then now I got, you know, a flat, bigger one of those. I call this a flat brush. I don't know if that's its actual name, all right? Can't think of it right now. Got a round tip one. This is usually my favorite one that I'll be using most often. I got a smaller version of this little flat guy. And then I got more of a pointy one. Okay. And now I got my cool spatula. All right. My Betty Crocker spatula thing. Pretty sure I got it at like the dollar store. And this is fun to make cool marks, right? I have others, and it's actually fun to cut these up, like cut little things in there, and it makes cool, fun lines and textures, all right? Because they have these at the art store, like pre-cut and pre-designed for you, but like they're like $10 a pop or something like that. And it's like, really, just go to the dollar store, get yourself silicone spatula, cut it up yourself, right? I got a roller because we're going to be doing some rolling paint. Okay, this is from Speedball. This one is kind of just dedicated to my open acrylics. Okay, I have some that are just for my ink blocking, but this one is for my open acrylics. What else I got here? All right, well, I got some open acrylics. My camera is flipped, but it won't do it also like flipped vertically and not horizontally. I know, the dollar store is great. I find like potato chip clips and stuff, those are the best, like the wire ones. Do I have them? Do I have one? These guys, okay? I get these at the dollar store and they're like sturdy, and I want them to be wire because this is like, this holds my papers a lot when I like go plein air painting. I clip my sketchbooks and stuff like to hold them down, all kinds of stuff. And I want those ones, okay? I don't want, you know, fancy potato chip bag clips that are plastic or whatever. I want those janky wire ones. Anyways, okay, so oh yeah, so we got some open acrylics. And I'm still on this set, y'all. I've had this for well, going on maybe like 5 or 6 months now. I'm running out of some of the other paints, so I might need to open up my alizarin crimson and what is it? Maybe, I don't know if it was ultramarine blue or blue manganese. I'm not sure, but manganese? I don't know. But that's what I'm going to be using. It's got a thinner in here, which I really like. But these are slow drying acrylics, which I love because they're a mixture between oils and acrylics to me. And when you work in, most people really like working in oils because it is slow drying and you can get the blends that you want. That's why I have like the moppy stuff. And but also there's an upside to working in acrylics because they're really fast drying as well. They don't take as long to dry as oils do. And so open acrylic is slow drying acrylics. And so they're still open and workable. They won't dry up on you so fast, okay? And I like that. It's a nice in between. And I find that your painting will be surface dry, not cured, okay, but surface dry in about, really, depending on how you paint, but anywhere between 4 to 10 hours, it will be surface dry. And yeah, Jackie, they are water soluble too. you're going to even see me spray the jelly plate and wipe it with water. And that's how I clean this guy off. All kinds of things. So it's great. I love them. Okay, I love them. And then we got a fancy little jar here. Okay, an old jar used to hold some pimentos. Okay. But I put some of my thinner in here, my clean thinner, and then from in here. And now I got palette paper. And I love palette paper because, let's see here. It's just, it's easier for me to work with. Honestly, like I'm going to be using up, I don't have like a storage for my paints or like a palette. Like I have a palette, but I don't have room to just keep an open palette. I just don't. Okay, like I'm not gonna. And I just don't like that. I've never liked having an open palette. An open meaning like there's, you know, different like compartments. And with like acrylic, usually you'll put like a wet towel either on like on top of it or underneath, so there's moisture, and then it has a lid. I don't like doing that. I just never thought that, like, once I put the, even with watercolor, like I just don't like open palettes like that. I like tube paints. Okay. But I always thought it's weird. It's not the same. Like once you've tried to come back to your open palette after a couple days, it's not the same. I feel like the paints are not as workable, and I just didn't like it. Okay. But I like, and also I'd rather just, this is easy for me. Like I can use this palette paper and then be done with it. So got some palette paper. That's what I'm going to be using. And what else? What else do I got? I think that's it, y'all. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to be making a color on this canvas first. Just kind of staining the canvas first, because I have tried before where like I'll be doing the jelly plate first and then pressing the canvas on there. But because it's so hard, it's a sturdy panel, it doesn't work as well with paper because you can't mush it in. And I'm finding that I have to blend on top of the canvas anyways first. But once you got a first nice layer of paint down, it becomes really easy then to put it on the jelly plate and make all the textures you want. So we're going to open this bad boy, and got some open thinner. They give you the like a huge tube of titanium white, which is great. I love titanium white. I'm a titanium white person. Okay. I don't even know what, I can't think of the other white there is. I love alizarin crimson. And one reason, this is the landscape one. There was a portrait one, and then there was like another box set, or you can buy them individually, but I'm an alizarin crimson kind of person. Okay, cadmium red. I mean, they have cadmium red light in here, but I'm not a cadmium person in general. They also have a cadmium yellow, which like, look, like I barely use this one. Okay, so I don't like it. Cadmium tends to be a little bit more translucent than I would like it to be. Across the board. I'm a yellow ochre person. Okay, ultramarine blue. Yep, that's my thing. See, here's my cadmium red light. Barely use that. And I feel like cadmium tends to be warmer, almost orange. And I don't know. I'm a cool blue person. I don't know if that's how I'm trained or what, but I know how to mix them better, in my opinion. And we got some sap green hue, probably gonna need some more of that, and some manganese blue hue. So, and so I'm probably gonna be using like, let me see which ones I got. So these are tiny. These are 3/4 of fluid ounce, 3/4 of fluid ounce. These are 2 fluid ounces. So I got a lot of ultramarine blue now and alizarin crimson. So I might need to open these ones. So I probably won't use then the manganese hue. I don't know. It's not my thing. So maybe for a different day. What do I want to do? How do I want to tint this? Is a good question. Oh, thank you. The hubby brought me coffee. Isn't that nice? He made me coffee. Okay. I'm feeling, well, here, this is actually kind of what I do. So I usually do a red dollop, my alizarin crimson. Gonna do yellow down here. I don't use yellow that often, yellow ochre, but I also don't want it to get mixed in with my other colors very much. And then I'm going to do some sap green. And they look dark. These are dark, huh? And then I'm going to do my ultra marine blue. Ooh, that's pretty. I feel like, what's that like thing, synesthesia or something? It like certain colors make me want to try and taste them. And you can't, don't eat paint, all right? But, wishful thinking. I mean, come on, look at that. Can you guys see that blue? Doesn't it look like it's going to taste good? Like the blue water pop, or like those dum dum suckers, the blue kind. It's like blue raspberry. I don't know. Anyways, okay. So, and then we need some titanium white. Oh, the another white that I like to use other than titanium white is it's called buff white. Buff. BUFF. Okay. I do like that one too. And then I'm going to put my white down here, and I'm going to use a lot of white, so it's going to be a huge glob. In the buff? No, I'm not sure what it's called. White in buff? That sounds not right. It sounds like blued. Okay. I don't know. Okay. So now I love a palette knife. So I'm gonna I want my background, I kind of think I want my background to be red. And you know what? the heck? Let's try it. Let's try it. Ooh, that's bright. So I'm taking a glob here, taking a glob here, mixing them. And I love the silkiness of a palette paper. The only other silkiness that I like, and I don't have one anymore, I did have one in my Studio Art Minor, was a glass palette. Other than that, if you kind of get like a board, cardboard palette or wood, I don't like those. I personally just don't like them. It doesn't mix the paint like I want it to. And I mean, I like that. So it's kind of an orange red. I'm going to need a lot more. I'm going to be shaking up my thinner. This is going to make it more spreadable. Right now it's thick. And I'm just putting a couple drops in here. Mixing it in. So I'm going to try and that's about how much of a dollop I have of this mixed paint. Okay. And now I'm honestly just going to put it on my canvas all over. I'm going to take my roller. I like to do this because it gets rid of the dust. All right. And then I'm just going to roll it, mix it around. This might not even be enough. That's okay. All right. I'm not a left-handed person. So let me rearrange some things here. I don't want to cross over because then you run the risk of putting your arm in your paint. Okay. All right. So then now I am going to take my brush and spread it out even more. And I'm pretty heavy-handed sometimes when I paint. Like especially I like to get into the canvas and it's just kind of fun. It releases some of that, I don't know, pent up energy. It's called beating the canvas. It's probably why I would make a horrible tattoo artist because I'd probably be heavy-handed. Now when it comes to pastels though, I'm really light, but that's why I like a board. If I had a stretched canvas, ooh, I don't like the bounciness. I'm not a stretched canvas type person usually. It is good therapy. It's fun. Just maybe I'm angry today. I'm like picking like reds. This looks like a blood crimson red. I'm all beating up my canvas. There we go. Another thing that's really nice about open acrylics, like, because I actually forgot my water jar, but sometimes you don't really need to because it stays wet longer. But if you've used like older, not older, but regular acrylics, you have to be careful about your brushes because or leaving your brushes out because they'll dry really quick. So you kind of need to know how fast your acrylics are going to dry. Give me one moment. I'm going to go get my coffee. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. That's tasty coffee. Okay. Woohoo. All right. Oh, and you know what? I think my head is like, okay, I have an overhead light, and that's what's going on. All right. Let me try and what do I do? So the brightness maybe? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Trying to put my coffee kind of away so I'm not dipping stuff in it. All right. Anyways, okay, so we got this down, right? Bada bing, bada boom. And then well, now I'm going to kind of lean you guys this way so you can kind of see my palette just a little bit. Maybe I'll bring it over this way a little bit more. Okay. So I really love the jelly plate. So I was thinking about this while I was trying to make my coffee. You can honestly, what I'm doing here, like if you wanted to start with open acrylics and a jelly plate, you could do all of this for under $100 or at least $100. I think the jelly plate is around for an 8x10, and they come in smaller ones, which would be cheaper. But a jelly plate is like my 8x10 was like $30. Okay. My set here, at least where I got it, was I think around 50, maybe a little bit less. And then, so you got your paints, your jelly plate. Now you can get some canvas or you can just get some Bristol paper pad, or use whatever paper you have. Like if you're just trying to explore, but let's say you're going to do that, like a Bristol paper pad, if it's, I don't know, like a 9x12 is probably around $10, depending on whatever brand. And, if you have some, you don't have to use this palette knife, and just grab like a brush if you want, or these are like cheap brushes too. Like I have like this is an expensive brush. This one was, I think, like $9 just for this individual brush. But I also get packs of brushes at like Michael's or my hobby store. And this was like, I don't know, for the pack, it's like $5. You know what I'm saying? So, and I repurpose things. Like I get old ice cream lids or uh, takeout lids. What's this? This is a salad container lid. Put your acrylics on this. This can be your palette. You don't got to get palette paper. Repurpose, recycle, and then you can have fun, explore with that. So I mean, sometimes stuff is expensive, but also like you don't have to have top of the line things. Like I think I'm just bitter this morning because yeah, someone was like talking to me about some of my materials, and they were like getting all uppity about it, and I was like, really, dude? No, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. So I hope you're watching, fella. And you're watching me do all of this with some repurposed salad containers and Betty Crocker spatulas. All right, I digress. Anyways, so I think on top of this, I mean, ooh, like maybe we'll do some pink. Maybe we'll do some pink and red. Yeah. What if we get some of this? maybe, ooh, let's start with some darks first. I'm gonna mix some of this blue in here. Ooh, that looks like some like dark. This is dark. This is almost black. Okay. This is almost black, dark. Dark. Okay, it's dark. I don't want it that dark. Gonna add some white. Ooh, that's a nice like lavender color. I think that's pretty. Why not? I still want it a little bit darker. Yeah, exactly, Jackie. Like, why if you don't have to? And at the end of the line, at the end of the day, because I guess this guy's purpose reasoning was, oh, like you want good quality stuff for, like a collector and things like that. And I'm like, yeah, I get that too, but also if you're exploring, who cares? And at the end of the day, like if you know how to make things archival, I don't think your collector really cares. I don't think your collectors really, that's at least my experience, that they're just like, well, what paper did you use? They're like, no. No, they're happy with the end product if you're happy with the end product. So they don't care if you show up in your pajamas making a painting. Nah, they don't care about that. Okay. Um, at least not the collectors that I want. That's how I feel about it. All right, here we go. So, and a jelly plate's actually really good too for, let me get this off. It's sticky, right? It's stuck to it. So if you don't want like some of your work after, and I'll show you like later, when you're actually making some detailed work, I'll just put the thing back on here and paint on it, and it doesn't move. I like that. The only downside is that I usually paint vertically, right? So this has to be flat, unless I can probably figure out how to jimmy rig my jelly plate upright, but I ain't got time for that. So all right, so I really like this purple that I just put down. And so what I'm gonna do is put it here on my jelly plate. Now make sure you're not gouging with your palette knife, okay? And I don't think you guys can see, this is like it's like a purple, it's got more red in it than you would think. And I am gonna take my brush. It still even has that crimson on it. Fan this kind of out. Oops. Well, that's interesting. Well, I'm probably going to keep that in there. Who knows? Happy little chartreuse accident. Or alizarin crimson accent. Ooh, I kind of like that actually. I don't know if I really care. And yeah, because it's like I don't really care. Make I'm just trying to create and explore at this point. I'm not going in here with something in mind. Okay. So then all right. Then I'm going to flip this over, kind of align it on your jelly plate. And press. If you had a brayer, I don't have a brayer. A brayer is like a little knobby thing that you use for printmaking. Um, I usually just use glass jar, to be honest. Might get one. I saw some really cool blown glass brayers, and I was like, oh, maybe I want one of those. But I'm like, it's almost too pretty to use. Because I know me, I'll be like, oh, well, I dropped it. It was broken, or I got paint on it and I can't get it off, something like that. But you're pressing in to transfer all of that in. It's like you're a masseuse. Okay. And I'm able to do it like because again, my canvas is the same size as my jelly plate. But if I was working with paper that I wanted like a border, then you would have to be a little bit more strict about lining up your image. But I'm not. And then you peel that off, okay? And that's what's on there. So it's interesting, like you have all these little textures and everything. It's darker than how it is on here. And I leave this paint on here a lot. So, but so that's pretty interesting. And it takes a long time for me to find an image that it's just like layer after layer, and then I'm like, okay, this is looking cool. So now that I know that transferred darker, I'm gonna come in here and maybe lighten it up even more. Mm, yeah, let's try it. I don't know. Put a little squiggly do there. Maybe some more squiggly doos there. And the thicker you have the paint on the jelly plate, the more that paint will transfer to the canvas or your paper. Um, so just keep that in mind if you're fanning it out or whatever you're doing. But I'm gonna keep it like that. That's fun. And you can come in here too. Refine some of these textures wherever you want. I kind of like what it's doing though. I don't want to. I want to keep with what I'm doing. Hmm. And like I just kind of keep layering on my jelly. Not always. Like there's going to be a time where I know that my colors are going to start becoming a little bit muddy. You're going to notice it. And then I'll wipe my jelly plate and kind of keep adding to it, or maybe it'll be done and I just kind of need to work on top of the canvas at that point. But I like keeping a lot of the paint on there because it'll kind of keep transferring more and more. And these are cool because they are really just monotypes. Like you can try and like replicate it, but you're not going to know. For the most part, you're not going to know like what, oh, like I made this texture and I made this mark, like it's not, they really are just monotypes. Even if you try and replicate it, it's really not going to look the same. Cool. I like that. All right. Now let's make even more. I saw a fiber. Do I see another one? No, we're good. All right. Gonna put even more white into this. I kind of want it to be lighter. I'm going to err on the side of even lighter. That's another thing with open acrylics is they dry darker than you think. So when in doubt, I would at least go a shade lighter than you would normally do. For like for some reason I just kind of am thinking clouds. Like I guess that's kind of how I've been applicating this. I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe this will just be kind of more of a cloudscape or something. I don't know. These look like clouds and sky to me. Um, and you know, I'm a landscape painter, so that's probably why I see all of that stuff. But it's not like again that I went in here being like, I'm gonna paint clouds. Maybe a little bit. And also too, this is reversed, right? When you're laying the paint down, it's not gonna be on um when you peel when you lay the paint down, it's not gonna transfer on to your canvas the way you laid the paint down because now I'm putting the paper over, we're transferring it, and when I peel it up, so now like whatever I put over here on the jelly plate is gonna be on this side of the canvas, and I'll show you. So you kind of have to think of that. My doggy's like, what are you doing? Someone knocking? Do I gotta bark? Nah, he's good. You good. You good, pal. It was me. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking that. Okay, so see how, like, for instance, like this little shape here is not over here. It's actually over here because you flip, you're pressing everything this way, right? And lifting it up. So I'm adding some of that paint because yeah, I kind of like these. It looks like a sky. It's really cool, these kind of cloud thingies. So I'm just kind of adding. I like that. Hmm. Well, knowing that, then I might. I might go darker here near the bottom. I don't know. Let's just play around with some colors. Let's just see. Hmm. Maybe some canyons or something. I don't know, like a canyon. I'm gonna transfer just like this first. I just kind of want to see, you know? I just do. Gosh, I'm having like lots of fun. I might need to do another one. And I have lots of paint here, so I probably will. Okay. Do this kind of over here. It looks like when you do this, it kind of looks like broken clouds, and I like that. But I do kind of want Yeah, there needs to be a little bit more paint there. Yeah, I like the layers going on too. It's just fun. It's just fun. Thanks, Jackie. Coming together. And then, you know, I need something kind of darker, like even darker. Might need a little bit more red. Let's see here. Or you guys can't really see. All right, yeah, let's see here. There's something awesome about mixing paint. Like, oh, it's it's nice. Okay. Uh it just is. I don't know. Like, I mean, I love pastels. Pastels are my baby, but there's sometimes there's just something about mixing paint that is nice. Like paint, playing with wet paint is just fun too. It's its own fun. Let's try that. Jackie, have you been working? I haven't checked LinkedIn, so maybe you posted it, but have you been working on your cool like eclipse drawing thing? It was really neat. I really love like your line work. It feels kind of and I don't know if you're inspired by that, but it does feel kind of um it's got Arizona vibe to it. It's got like a southwestern vibe to it, and I love it. And maybe it's just because it's the lines and markings and stuff, but It's really cool. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of liking this, to be honest. Um, hmm. I'm just looking at it from upside down just to kind of see. Oh yeah, send me updates. I mean, I kind of like that orange peeking through. I really do. But I'm also considering, oh gosh, I'm considering yellow ochre. Decisions, decisions. What if I kind of just. Yeah, Jackie, anytime, anytime. I hope it's nice input because I really do like your work. I think it's awesome. And you know, I'm gonna take a little bit of this yellow ochre, put it here, play with this orange and all right, let's try that. I honestly don't know how long I've been on here. Maybe since 11. I'm just having fun. Like, I'm kind of preoccupied with all of this stuff. So, because I'm like contemplating, do I want to do another one? Because I have so much paint still out, so I'm probably gonna do something with it. What's up, Heather? How you doing? Oh, that's interesting. It just like popped up with you, Heather. Again, like it was copied or something on Restream. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, well, that's kind of where we're at. Now, I kind of already have this scene down, right? So what I am going to do is what am I trying to do? I don't want to spray my coffee. Let me see. One moment. I'm going to walk away. Okay, good. Glad find it supportive. Good. Okay. So what was I gonna do? I'm gonna let's clean this off. So literally all I'm going to do is spray with my water. This is just water. Goodbye. Goodbye, little painting. It looks really cool on the jelly plate. And then yeah, and then I'm just literally, it's kind of fun. You just wipe. You wipe it away. Okay. Spray again. You wipe again. Isn't this nice? Like, this is just like the easiest cleanup ever. Okay. I'm gonna do a third time. Oops. I'm not even pressing that hard. It just literally wipes away. Fan it maybe la 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 la. Kind of make sure that your area is a little bit wiped off. All right. Now I put my completed piece on there. It's not going to go anywhere. So certain things weren't transferring like I wanted it to. And that's okay. Now I kind of go in here and refine things if I want to, which I do. So, and probably even gonna wipe off my palette knife. Oh. Okay. So this, it's kind of already getting tacky on my palette paper drawing, I guess I want to say. It's like a tad of blue. And I'm just, I don't know, adding more paint where I want to with my palette knife. Kind of refining edges, if that makes sense. Like right here, I kind of do want it to have a little bit more of an edge. There we go. Right here too. Now I do want that little bit of darkness here as well. Same with here. Okay, and then I am taking that orange, because these little like highlights were something that didn't transfer like I wanted it to. So I'm coming in here and adding them. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and then I want a little bit more of this yellow in here. Maybe I just want the yellow. We'll see. Yeah, I'm liking that. Okay. And then I kind of want, I'm going to take a dollop of this peach here. I feel like it needs like a third element. We kind of have maybe what these cliffs are and clouds and sky. I kind of feel like it needs either like I don't think I can do anything to the cliffs, if that makes sense. Because they're cliffs. I'm kind of thinking of adding like a sun. Um, some kind of sun source. What do y'all think? This right here needs to be darker. It kind of just blends too much right now. Yeah, there we go. A sun. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe like right here. Or just like maybe some bands of light. I don't know. We're gonna play around with it. Ooh, yeah, what if I do that? Sorry, I'm like talking to myself. I'm like, yeah. I kind of feel like taking this glob Okay, cool. And then I'm going to be adding some lighter of this peach color. Needs like a little bit there. Probably something there. Then let's try, I'm going to try my oval brush. So I'm going to try it over here. Yeah. Just kind of fanning it. Let me get you guys up close if I can. So it's still wet, right? So I'm able to take just a floppy mop brush and fan it out. That's the beauty of open acrylics. Yeah. Okay. Now what I'm going to do I don't know where to put it. I feel like it almost needs to be here. I want it little. It's kind of cooler little. Yeah, I'm really liking it too. I don't know if I should do, it's very like subdued and abstract. Like, I don't know if I should add even more, maybe highlights or something. Let's see here. I don't know. Let's look. Let's play around just a little bit. Maybe something like that. This one for sure. If this cloud is super close to it, maybe it's got. Gotta mop that out. This needs, I just know it's gonna dry darker, so I'm constantly like, oh, it needs even more. I know. Those street artists, Jeffrey. Oh man, that's crazy cool. I like the sidewalk chalk artists. Those are cool. Every once in a while, like, I don't know if they've done it. I haven't seen it since been to one since post COVID, but they have some in Denver. And I'm like, oh man, those are neat. Cool. So I'm gonna fan this out a little bit. I want it a little bit more subdued. Yeah, I think this one's done. I'm calling this one done. Yeah, I'm calling this one done. I'm just kind of finishing up some edges here. But isn't that fun, y'all? Like, I didn't, I didn't go in there being like, I'm gonna paint these clouds with these colors and have some kind of sun thing and cliffs, you know, it just kind of emerges from this jelly plate. And it's just nice to give your brain a break, to be honest, and still create something cool and groovy and awesome. Now that I'm stepping back from it though, I still need this, the sun thingy, it needs to be brighter. It just does. I know it. I know it does. It's just gonna darken and darken. Another shade lighter. I'm telling y'all. Yeah. I mean, maybe it's a moon. I don't know because the colors are kind of muted. Maybe we're on a different planet and this is what their daytime looks like. Who knows? Just kind of fun. Yeah, I like it. I like it brighter. Okay. Well, yeah, that's the piece, y'all. I'm loving it. Well, thanks, Jackie, for hanging out with me. Well, thanks, Davina. Yeah, it's fun. It's open acrylic, and I don't know, I'm having fun and just playing around with stuff, you know? So, but yeah, but I'm about ready to sign off here. I'm gonna play around more just on my own. Um, because I got more paint. I mean, look, I got all this paint. So, but thanks, Jackie, for talking with me and hanging out with me. And I hope you guys learned lots and play around. And if you play with acrylics, let me know. Open acrylics, let me know. And it's been a good time. Thanks, y'all.